Should read topic number 4 is simply federal government contracting. This comes with a link. Let's check it out. And you guys should pay some attention to this too.
I got a PhD, a public high school diploma, right? So that's all I got. Knowing that all I have is a PhD, I have to understand that I got to use communication skills and I got to be truth and honor to myself. One of the things I quickly noticed was I didn't have direction or passion. Most people say you got to have direction and passion to get to where you want to in life. I ain't had none of that. Your boy had no focus. So when I got out of the Coast Guard, anybody know what the brig is? That's military jail. I did 2 years in the brig. We talk about having time to yourself. Your boy sitting in there like, hey, I gotta get it together. So I worked at the gas station, came home, worked at the gas station, used to ride a pedal bike to the gas station, and I was cool. This is who I am. I'm the guy that want to be the best. I'm a super competitor. So I want to be the best gas station attendant there was while still hustling. I'm a real one. I didn't grow up in the hood. I just walked down to the hood. There's a lot of people out there like that. Yeah, I'm in the hood. I do this, I do that. I ain't grow up in the hood. My mama made sure I ain't grow up in the hood, but the hood was so attractive to me. I'm gonna go see what they talking about. What they doing is more fascinating than what I'm doing. So I gotta go check that out. That lifestyle followed me so much, and my mentality was messed up so bad. When I got out the brig and got back in and couldn't get a job and was working at the gas station, I still felt like I had to do those hood things. Sitting at the gas station, chilling, trying to be the best gas station attendant. My man come up and say, hey, yo, I'm going to get a federal government contract in trucking. Who knows what a federal government contract is? It's where the federal government looks to procure products and services by small businesses. So when he told me that, I didn't have no clue what he was talking about. Same night, my dog got locked up in federal prison. So now I can't even ask him, what is he talking about? I can't go back to use him. I got to use WAC YouTube University. This 2008. I can't figure it out to save my life. But my IQ level was high. That's not how smart you are. That's my I quit level. I don't have one. I don't quit. I started it. I hate to read. I hate to read. People ask me all the time, so to get the mindset that you have, what type of books do you read? I don't read no books. And I don't make no quarrels about it. I don't read no books. I study people. I see the people that are doing their thing in life, and I study them. I don't need the book. This is my own personality. So now I'm trying to go through reading YouTube University. Can't figure it out. It took me 3 years to win my first contract. 3 years, but I figured it out. Your boy in 2008 got bad credit. I don't have no money. I'm rough around the edges. My vernacular is crazy. I can't spell worth a lick. I still can't spell right now. I don't even care about none of that. One thing I quickly noticed and identified is when I was in high school and I was a class clown. When I was in high school and I got my way out of being suspended, I knew I could communicate very well. And I knew at certain times I could articulate my message the way I could be persuasive to another person. Obviously, all of that came into play as I'm dealing with these government officials. So, boom, I get my first contract for work I'm not doing. So, I'm going to teach y'all what I've been doing. I get the government contracts and I subcontract them out. I don't see the work. I don't see the workers doing the work. I don't see the facility where the work is being done at. And I do this hand over fist. So now I'm with my first contract. I'm still at the gas station. I'm cool. I ain't got no problems with being there. My mom said it's still crazy. I still ain't doing personal development. I'm still hustling. Pump two at the gas station didn't work. So you rolled up on me and said, yo, I'm trying to get $20 on pump two. I got to go to the other drawer. I know what you want from me. I still got that hood mentality. And I just won a federal government contract. The first government contract was $325,000. I know this TED talk, but we're going to get into this money talk. Y'all keep up. $325,000 was my first federal government contract. Your boy was making $125 a month. Now, I know some of y'all gurus out in the audience like, yo, $125, what you doing with that? I'm excited. I'm living. This is how old I am. Took my mom to Sizzlers. You hear me? And the scissors was connected to the Shoney's. We living. Moms is happy because now I figured out a new path to make some real legitimate money from the federal government where she used to get assistance from. We don't gotta do it like that no more. So now I'm cracked the code. Boom. 2 months later, I won my second federal government contract. 7 racks. Profit to me for work I ain't even doing. Peace out, gas station. I don't know what you talk about no more. But I'm gonna tell y'all the backstory. It took me 3 years to win my first federal government contract. Most people can't even do stuff without 2 weeks without getting paid. You can't even do it. The endurance ain't there. Your IQ level is super low. It's low. 3 years. Can you do that? No money. The woe is me moments is happening to me. I am beating myself up. Yo, Jay, I don't think you can do this. Yo, Jay, you got to listen to these other people telling you what make you think you can get government contracts and not do the work. See, I quickly always notice I'm not better than anybody. I'm just different. I'm built super different. And I recognize that quickly. So if everybody going right, I'm going left. Everybody wearing jeans, I'm wearing shorts. I got a long sleeve shirt on with shirt. You feel me? Everybody going right, I'm going left. And I know I'm fly on Easter. My mindset is different. I always want to jump out the window and build my parachute on the way down. I ain't scared to fail. Obviously, we know the cliche, the phrase, it ain't failing, it's learning. Okay, cool, because that's what it is. But I'm going to learn super fast. I ain't better than nobody. I'm gonna just get here first. I didn't invent subcontracting. I just figured it out through all my years of YouTube training, YouTube University, which carried me down a rabbit hole. It took me 3 years to win my first contract. That second year was woe is me moments. Anybody ever heard of Labor Ready? Anybody know what Labor Ready is? She said, yeah. Yo, Labor Ready, you go to work same day, they give you a back-breaking job, you sweat your tail off, and then they give you $40. You get a little bit extra money if you got a car and you pick people up. You get an extra $5, $10. So I'm picking up people I don't even know. They drunks, they alcoholics. They give me their life story in my back seat. I'm like, hey, I can't hear all that right now. I'm on a mission. I'm trying to be different now. Now that I'm getting government contracts and trying to understand, I got to be different. I can't hang around them no more. And guess what else is happening? They noticing Jay ain't got a pedal bike no more. Jay got a car. It might be used, it might be beat up, but I got a car now. Now, Jay, I ain't seen you in 2 weeks. I went to Cancun. What you know about going to Mexico? My life is changing right before their eyes. I ain't get rid of my friends, they got rid of themselves. When you change your mindset, your environment instantly starts to change too. Do y'all recognize that? Now, my mindset and my pockets, they meeting with each other. That's a whole different story. So next thing you know, I got that contract for $7,000. So I ain't take my mama to scissors this time. This time I have a real conversation with mom. Mom, how much money you need to not go to work no more? She said, what you talking about? I'm trying to retire, you shorty. You know what I'm talking about? Stop playing with me. I've arrived. The first thing I got to do, I got to give back to my mom. So she gave me their dollar amount. Now, guess what I'm doing? Now I'm going after contracts because number one, I know the system. And also number two, I got to look out for my mom. So today, right now, my company has been awarded over 250 plus federal government contracts for work we ain't doing. Currently, today, we got over 42 contracts bringing me in residual income for 3 and 4 years at a time. That's 42 streams of income from the federal government. I ain't even seeing the work. I'm sitting right there in the chair listening to everybody talk. Guess what? I just won 2 federal government contracts on Easter. I didn't even know they was working. Come on now. You got to understand, a guy like me not supposed to be on the TED Talk stage, but I am supposed to be here. So when I step on that stage, I act like I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be at the head of the table. Y'all know that phrase, I'm getting money? That's on anybody category. Y'all ever heard that before? That's my new phrase. Understanding when I arrive to the table and you arrive to the table, make sure your mindset is, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. You can't look at it. You can't look at your life and your journey and the job that you have or the career, whatever you got going on, like I'm not supposed to be here. You're supposed to step up to that table and everybody supposed to listen to you when you start talking. I got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Y'all know what that means? I listen twice as much as I talk. So I'm gonna hear what you're saying, and then I'm gonna respond accurately. I step to board meetings like this, and they judge me. Of course. I started talking a little hood. Of course, they're like, he don't know what he's talking about. Of course. Next thing you know, when I start to talk though, and it's money talk, they gotta listen to me. I just want to share with y'all a little bit about my life story and what I'm doing today. I'm impacting lives of those that felt like they couldn't do federal government contracting because they thought it was too hard, because they thought they had to have years of experience, because they thought they had to have this, that, and the third. And you don't have to have any of that. All you have to do is recognize once you get your LLC, register that into the database. After you do that, you're ready to run. You don't have to do the work. The mindset needs to be this. It's not about what you can do. It's about what you can manage. Can I manage the work on this government contract, and or can I manage the company that's going to do the work on my government contract? Everybody right now, since I'm here, pull out your phones real quick. I want you to do me a favor. Follow on Instagram. I am Jason White. At I am Jason White _. I appreciate y'all time.
Yeah, the end kind of punctuated my skepticisms. First, let me say this: government contracting is a thing. It's a lucrative thing, as I've said in the past. In fact, maybe even earlier today, it's a difficult thing to get into. It's doable, of course, but it's not so easy, especially if it's just you trying to get those contracts, right? But and a lot of what he's saying is good advice and all that kind of stuff, but I'm skeptical as to his image and how highly pedicured it is. He's this hood dude who has the hood lingo and accent and 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 he has his story hits all the beats. He's doing quite the opposite of what you're usually supposed to be doing to get a government contract. He's doing quite the opposite, but somehow he's so successful. It seems like he's trying to direct people to do the opposite of what should be done. That's what I'm getting at. Have the opposite image of the image that they usually really accept or work with, right?
Goku, not to cut you off. I think people are saying the stream on YouTube got shut down.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, yeah. It says it's unavailable from my other device.
All right. Let me take this off the screen.
Yeah, you can hear the phone, but you can't see it on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, what it is the fair use bullshit. So that TED Talk, which is on YouTube, this is why I can't stand YouTube.
TED Talk is notorious for flagging things down. I know that just from,
It's back on now. You're back on.
Well, thanks for letting us know that. Yeah, let me just say refresh. Yeah, YouTube is a beast, man. Hopefully they could see that. Refresh.
What they say, that the revolution will not be televised.
Yeah. YouTube.
Unless TED Talk televises it. I know that about them. This is not just YouTube, it's also them. I know that they've gone after anybody who tries to use their material. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to be on their platform.
Yeah, they're vicious, but not brutal.
Yeah. Anyway,
they're like Jeffrey Dahmer.
I went through that whole spiel, but I'll just keep it simple now. I think the brother, he's saying good things, but he's presenting it as he was the opposite of what you would usually do. And look at his success. He hates to read. He emphasized that he hates to read, right? He still don't like to read, but you have these government contracts. It's kind of sketchy to me. That's just my initial thoughts. But I'll say this then, based on how I look at it, if you do the typical opposite of what he's talking about, that's pretty much the area. You pretty much be, I think, in the right area. I'm not saying that it's impossible that he did what he did, but it's very. There's something about it doesn't sit well with me. But I'll throw it to the panel. Let me start with Brother Bakari. Brother Bakari, what say you to this? Bakari, you there? All right, Uzuli, let's go to you.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say because he didn't explain anything about government. What did he say? Government what?
Contracting.
Contracting. I guess if the government wants the road to be built, he gets the contract and he chooses the company and he gets a cut out of that. Is that what basically he's saying?
Yeah, basically. So he takes on a contract from a company that's paying X amount of money, and he just says, "Well, frig it. I'm going to hire a company that does this kind of work, right? And I pay them off, and I'll keep the balance, and that's how he makes his money."
So he's the middleman.
He's essentially a middleman, yeah.
So my thing is, he didn't say how he got into this. So
No.
So he didn't say that. Maybe he knows somebody. He knows a plug who let. So I guess if it works for him and he's making money, he like brother, people love to do that. They love to say, "Oh, I was not educated, and look at me now." Bro, I don't even understand what he was trying to say. But at the end of the day, if it works for him, hey, I like okay. So you saying that? So he's purpose. Oh, I can't read. I can't really read. I can't spell. Like, look what I'm doing. Like he's trying to shame people who are intellectual. I don't get it, but he didn't do a good job explaining what he did, unless TED Talk kind of cut some of the stuff. All I heard was it's like he was talking like a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get what he was saying. So but if that's what he's the middleman, so he gets so what he does is he does, like he said. I think he's take pride in not doing nothing, which is I think it's the pride that this country tell you work like he's getting money off of people working and he's just chilling, laid back. That's why he's but okay.
Right. He's the ultimate capitalist there, right?
Oh, so that's what he's doing. Well, more power to him. That was I guess but the question is, how many of us can obtain that? So I don't. What I would have wanted for him to explain how to get into it, like go, but he was just showing off.
Yeah, if he had gone through the process, I would have held back a little bit. But to me, it's just like a flossy little story he told on a government contracting level, and I gotta wonder, is this a part of a ploy to kind of mess, black folks up who try to get into that space, who follow this shit that he's talking, right? Which I've never known to work. I'll ask Gas later if he's ever seen that type of thing work, but
Goku,
it's weird. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the brother that got arrested, that spent mad time. He was the governor or the mayor in Detroit or something like that. What's the brother name? Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Wasn't he giving out contracts to his own people?
Yes.
So even in that situation, it shows you how hard it is for a regular person to come in there, and he's coming out here. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Fitzpatrick would he got like 28 years in jail. If Trump didn't pardon him, he would still be in jail right now.
Yeah.
So this
that's because he killed a girl.
He killed a girl.
Yeah, just Google his name. Just Google Kwame Fitzpatrick or whatever his name is, and Detroit stripper.
Yeah, that happened after he came out, right?
No, that happened before he went into jail.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so they made him pay for that. But this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, if government contract is easy to get, like a lot of people are on top because people are so selfish. Like, if I got the government contract, I'm not gonna let you come in and take it. So I don't understand a lot of these people, it's like I was watching something in the news way back in the days. It says, oh, this young lady, she's only 22 and she owned a couple of Wendy's. But what they don't tell you is her parents and other people had owned the Wendy's before her.
Oh.
So they put it as the American dream. Oh, she owes a Wendy's, da 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 da. But they don't tell you the background that her family owned a couple of Wendy's or something else happened. So it's like this guy coming here like bro, you didn't even give nothing. You just flossing. How does a young black man use that? What you just did? Like he didn't even. I'm not going to drop everything. Give a couple and then follow me. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You didn't even give nothing. So I'm done. Go ahead.
Let's go to gas him up. Gas him up. What say you?
Yeah, I'll just be brief. I mean, I don't know the guy, so I won't talk about him, but I do know these types of it's feel good. It's no different for me than going to a church. They tell you, yeah, man. And everybody says, yeah, 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 hallelujah. Or, it's like, I feel you, brother. And then everybody high fives and you go home and you haven't learned anything, but you ate some overpriced vegan or overpriced soul food. I'm going to use my time to just quickly talk about why I don't like the idea of black business. I think black business is nonsense, and this is why. Because whenever I come into black business, most of the time, I'll say about 70 to 80% of the time, it's terrible service and it's always overpriced. I am sick and tired of going to a restaurant over here in New York City. I was at a vegan restaurant the other day. They had a child's plate of food, and that was the largest plate they had, and they said $18. I walked out. I said, "Oh, don't worry, I got a call," because it's just like I'm not going to support you, and you're there. It's BS. I don't want to curse, but it's bullshit. Costco is not that expensive. Restaurant Depot is not that expensive. The Dominicans are selling a plate of food for $7 freaking. I'm sick and tired of going to Jamaican and African restaurants, and I got to pay $25 for some goddamn rice and plantains. You're freaking losing your mind, and you got to stop it. I'm not going to support black business. I'll just go to McDonald's then and die of diabetes. Stop being freaking bullshit capitalist. Sell food, yeah, make a profit. No one's saying, but goddamn it, you know our people ain't got the money. 3 out of 4 of us, as the numbers just showed in New York City, the men are unemployed. So what the hell are we talking about with black business? No, black business needs to figure this shit out. It's not hard to get a Costco membership. It's not hard to get a freaking BJ's membership, a Sam's Club membership. Buy your freaking food in fucking bulk. Go to Restaurant Depot, buy it in bulk, and sell the shit cheap for your people. The hell are you selling a plate of food for $30 for? Yeah, black power. Fuck you. You're a thief. It's this Don King capitalist shit, and we don't call them out. And so when I see these kind of people, what's his name? Jay Morrison had his fake ass Tulsa real estate fund, and he was out there telling people, "Yeah, Tulsa real estate," and he was a scam artist, and we don't call him out. It's bullshit. And so I'm sure he's gonna tell me, oh, if you pay 3,000, he won't say 3,000, he'll say $2,999. For that low price, I'll teach you how to get government contracts. But then if you say, yeah, that price doesn't make sense. I mean, even if you said $500, I'll pay that. Not bad. I understand you gotta make some money. But goddamn, this is what they'll do. They'll tell you, come on, brother, you spent $3,000 a year on Starbucks. You spent $3,000 a year on Netflix. You can pay this. It's a good investment. No, fuck you. I'll sell. I'll sell lemonade on the street. I'll stay broke. I'll be a Dusty. I'll be a Pookie. Because you're a thief. You're no different than the Mzungus. At least the Mzungu, I know he doesn't like me. You're smiling, pretending to like me. So that's just my little rant on black business and black capitalism. It's the biggest scam I've ever seen, and we don't call it out. But that's just my opinion.
All right, so you guys could comment to what Gas said as I come around the panel. Tanzan, federal government contracting. What did you see? Now, I kind of started the mess, I guess, by saying I didn't quite believe the guy. I felt he was a little too pedicured, too curated. But what are your honest thoughts about the presentation?
Well, firstly, he shouldn't throw anyone off, the subject. This is actually a thing, and people do. There's a lot of money that the government does give out, not just in military, social, educational, creative, artistic. There
Yes.
is a lot of federal funding that the government gives. So, this guy's inept presentation should not discourage anyone from looking further into it, because that's where the money is. A lot of military contracts right now are federally funded. So the process is it's tedious, first of all. That's why when he talks about, oh, I don't read, you have to read those things. You have a lot of paperwork. They have requirements, they have things you have to submit. You have to get all your things in order. You have to give your business financials and all of that stuff, and you have to have been in. They have requirements. Basically, you can't just be an off the street and say, oh, I want a government contracts like an idiot. No. So either he says, I don't like to read, but I hired a bunch of really good accountants and people who know the stuff, and they did the work for me. But for you to just say, I walked into the government and said, I am here, give me, and then they gave me, and then now, that's such nonsense. He's trivializing and simplifying that whole process. You can't go into, it's like saying, oh, I like to code, it's so cool, you just go in there 2 minutes. No, it's a lot of work. He should actually respect the work that it goes into it. It's not like so much work that rocket science, but it's boring work, basically. So him just saying, oh, but I don't like to read. How do you not like to read when you have to read, pages and pages, and you have to meet requirements, and you have to be exact? If you're going to be in business, you have to do business, you have to have that business acumen. You can't just go in there and say, well, I'm just, I don't know biology, like that song. I don't know biology or anything, but I just love you. Business is not about love. Business is about being exact. Anyway, so there is work to be done. But the other thing is that he doesn't say, firstly, he's not good with the details. If you're going to tell somebody how how you made it, this is the vague, oh, started from the bottom, now I'm on top. I bought my mama a house, moved her from the suburbs. But you're not telling people what it takes, what contract you signed, what deal you got, what they got, how you got there. It's just a whole bunch of flattery. That's why I don't want to just throw and smear mud at those inspirational videos, but it's all just feel goodery. It's just making people feel good about their misery and making them comfortable where they are, but it's not pushing them to anything. If people are honest about what it takes to succeed, they would tell you that it's not fun. It's not this wonderful thing. It's a lot of sad, hard work, and you have to put in a lot of your time. You have to give up a lot of what you want or like, and you have to have that vision in front of you forever. So this thing about celebrating the successes but not being honest about the sacrifices, it's anyway. So, and then the other thing, even before the guy started talking, look, there is no reason why a grown man should be standing in public exposing his knees. That is just wrong. That's just wrong. You might be good in fashion and whatever, but you're not supposed to be just there standing in shorts and no. From the moment I saw him, I just felt like, yeah, no. My womanly intuition said no, no. And then he just confirmed everything, but there's emotions, there's logic, but the logical part of it is, if you're going to share your knowledge and wisdom, give the details. Talk about how you got there, what steps you had to take, what it takes to get there. Don't just talk about this nonsense about, oh, yeah, people didn't tell me don't be at the table and not feel at whatever nonsense he was talking about. So, yeah, no, I'm done.
No, but again, because I know why this was posted, so I don't want to lose the spirit of why it was posted.
That's why I say there's merit in the contracts. Don't let that guy's presentation and his knees throw you off. There is a lot of merit in the area, the industry he's talking about. but go into it with more research and prepared to do more work than he's flippantly talking about. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I appreciate that, Tan. Marcus Garvey is the way. What say you?
In terms of small businesses and excluding the fact about federal contracts, I think there's a typical story in most of the Caribbean. As I got older, I realized that the people who didn't do well in school, at least from the Caribbean point of view, became entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs. Those of us who went to like the good schools ended up being employees for life. So I can understand his point of view in terms of he's saying, oh, he's not very educated, but he found a way to make money. And to me, that's a story that I've seen and heard in the Caribbean, in the sense that uneducated people who hustle can still make successful businessmen despite not having that top tier education, because I kind of feel like those of us who went to the better schools were educated to become workers, because your parents want you to be in a big company, be a lawyer, a doctor, whatever. But those people learn to hustle and struggle. Like, my brother, I have a sister who's a nurse, and she's been a nurse since she was 17, and she owns a house and a car and all that stuff, and land, and debt free. But then I have a brother who didn't do well in school, and he knows how to build houses, do electrical, plumbing, all that stuff. And I would say, they have both been successful in life, but my brother learned to hustle, and my sister worked 9 to 5, and because she refused to take the vaccine, she no longer has a job. But he started a contractor company. So you have two people who from their education had to be at the you know one person became independent. The lower educated person became independent, better financially organized thing. But my sister, is now in her almost 50, now looking for jobs after being a nurse for almost 30 years. So from the point of view of him being a small business owner and struggled and got better, I can get that. As far as the government contracting, I got no clue about it, so I got nothing to say on that. That's it.
Did Bakari ever come back? I guess not. Um, Buana, you get the last word on this one.
Sure. So the question was put out there as to the how tos of going about government contracting. And for anyone who is interested in government contracting, there is a YouTube channel. The name of the YouTube channel is government contracting. The name of the YouTube channel is Casino is Again, it's called Casino is the name. Anyone who want to know as far as the details of the how to's in the different fields of industry, I think the brother there does a good job in interviewing people who go into the explanation of the how to's and getting involved in the contracting and the how to's of how to go about it, what papers and documents that you may need. That channel provides you with that kind of information. For me, I find that sometimes our people like to be spoon fed, because it's interesting what people see and respond to. For me, when I look at a video like that, I am inclined, in if I was interested in that field of industry or endeavor, I would jot down his name and I would either go to LinkedIn to see if he's on LinkedIn and write him an email, or I try to find out what his hotmail is, and I would try to solicit him personally, try to find out a means, because we in a so-called information age now, where you could reach people and ask them questions. You know, sometimes the spoon is not gonna eventually come to your mouth. You have to solicit it. You have to go after it if you're hungry. If you're hungry, and I feel like sometimes we sit down and we have the expectation without without wanting to bring in anything to the table. And sometimes you have to reach for that piece of cheese or that piece of food. You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes we have to go after the things that we want. I may not know this man, but he does have a track record. And if he is in a field or industry that I am interested in, I can go after him. I can solicit him. I can try to find a way and means to contacting him. And if not him, someone else who is in that field. You know what I mean? I won't stop at just the video itself. It's good that the fact that I get the name so I know who to reference. And we are living in a day and time where you could find these people online. You could find these people. He is not so far beyond our grasp and reach where we can't send him an email. And I think that a lot of CEOs I hear when they talk, in particular billionaires, they say that sometimes they just sitting at their desk and they wonder how is it that no one ever tried to contact them directly in reference to the information that they would have acquired in reaching the heights that they would have reached to. And I started doing that in my own personal life. I got out of the 20 to 50 the different emails in my industry, I got like maybe one or two from different people around the world, to try to create some kind of contact with them. But I try to reach out to these people. I don't just sit down and wait for something to happen for me. I try to go after that information. And yes, it is a heartfelt uh, uh, speech, but it goes beyond that. The onus is on the viewer to take it a step level beyond that and try to solicit and try to go where that information is, to go where that person is, to seek out. You have to do some work yourself. You can't just wait for it to drop in your lap. And I feel like sometimes I think that we do that too much. And I think that we need to start soliciting, especially when you see that their success leave clues, and we are people who are hungry should become the detectives and start looking and researching in different places, sometimes uncommon places, to try to see if we could get to the things that we want to acquire for ourselves personally. So I'll just leave it there. But I would just to say that for people who are interested in government contracting, Casino is the name. That brother goes into the how tos of soliciting government contracts for anyone who's interested in that endeavor.
Juan, I appreciate that.
Can I say
Wow, 1 second. The one little thing I would push back against a bit, slightly, is I think the thing is that people have been getting up and reaching out to whatever resources they are, right? Trying to get closer to this information that will get them, where they want to be. I think the problem is all we see from folks who are trying to give us quote unquote help. All we see is these types of talks, kind of vague, very motivational. They pull a couple of heartstrings. I was poor. I didn't have it like that, or I wasn't poor. I just liked the ghetto and all this shit. And then he contradicts himself a little bit too. But where he asks his mom how much she needed and this, that, and the other. But whatever, right? I think people are have been looking for this information, and this is the information you've been getting. I could personally tell you, to me, one of the most useless aisles in a bookstore is that self-help aisle. That business and that self-help aisle, one of the most, because all you're going to read is the same type of thing he just did in that TED Talk. In every book you pick up, none of them are going to ever get to the point and say, okay, I know you know all the shit that was in that TED Talk and in all them books in the self-help aisle and the business aisle. Here's what to do. 1, 2, 3, go ahead and do it. And I think that's the issue, right? I think people are tired of this stuff, especially our people. We're tired of this stuff, and we kind of want folks to get to the goddamn point now.
Yes, and in response to that, My response to that is, in particular, for whatever field of industry, people who are at the top of the industry or close to it, offer them money for their time. When I
I
say
agree with
that,
that.
when I say that, sometimes to get people to pay attention, because usually these days you gotta hit a person with a bat to cause them to want to pay attention. But I would say, listen, man, let me take you to a lunch. I get $1,000. I just need an hour from you to ask you some questions. You know what I mean? And some people will pay it. I bet you people will
A
pay more than.
thousand dollars.
Well, I mean, for whatever
I
your
would
money.
rather take that $1,000 and invest it in a
Yeah,
stripper named
yeah,
Bubbles.
and
A
that's fine. And
thousand
that's fine.
dollars.
And that's fine for the
Wait,
brothers them,
pebbles?
for the
Pebbles
brothers
as in rocks?
for the brothers them who ain't capitalistic inclined, I understand.
Wait. I didn't get the stripper's name. Pebbles?
For the brothers them who ain't
Bubbles.
capitalistic inclined,
Bubbles.
for
Okay,
the brothers
maybe
for
better.
the
Okay.
for the brothers them who ain't capitalistic inclined or motivated, I understand what the way they stance is. I'm talking about for the brothers who are capitalistic inclined. I'm saying sometimes you have to offer money for time.
But I think you have I think you have, to me, your interpretation of capitalism is what the system wants us to believe capitalism is. Look, let's be
Let me
real
finish.
here. Go
Let
ahead,
me
go
let
ahead.
me finish. For so sometimes you have to offer money for time, and sometimes people will be more than willing to give you advice or answer specific questions.
How do you know that, bro?
Because not only have I experienced it on a personal level, I've heard others talk about it before. Success leave success leave clues. I'm not the first to go around the wheel, neither is someone else. See, people are willing to tell their stories. And I'm saying that people exchange money for time. Time is money, money is time. For some people, not everyone. And I'm saying that
No,
some
Can I say
let me
something about this guy?
let
He
me let
should
me
teach
let me
people
finish.
how to sell
Let me
BS to TED
finish.
Talk and be
Let
get
me
paid
finish.
for it. That's also a
All
skill.
right, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead and do your thing, man. I'll just listen. Go ahead, brothers.
Yeah, let's not try to, let's not talk over each other and stuff like that. That's kind of off-putting. Gas, you wanted to add something?
no. I want to hit Buana's point because I thought he had said what he was saying about success leaving clues. But go ahead, Buana.
I'm saying that success leaves clues. There are others people. There are other people who've done certain things to get in positions where they got in life. And I'm saying that if you study what they have done, maybe it's more than likely you may follow the same course of action. I'm saying that people exchange money for time all the time. And people will be more inclined to listen to what you have to say when you tell them, look, I'm not just going to freely ask you a bunch of questions with no money involved in it. And sometimes when you put money on the table, people be more inclined to answer your questions, hear what you have to say, and give you advice because any business or industry or enterprise you may want to enter that is similar to what they have done, they may be willing to answer your questions. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Take it or leave it alone.
Chan, you wanted to
No,
add something?
No, sorry for the interruption.
no. Look, what I'm just trying to point out is that I think what, again, the Federal Reserve, just this was in 2020, literally came out and admitted for the last 30 years the U.S. economy has not looked to um, engage and incorporate black men in particular in employment. So one, where are these people going to get the money? Where the money will be worthwhile for a person's time. That's one. Two, I think we have, um, in my opinion, a wrong idea of what capitalism is. Um, you know, when I look at, for example, you guys can Google Warren Buffett's son. I like Warren Buffett, right? I quote him. I read his stuff. I read Charlie Munger, but his son is an idiot. Look, Buffett didn't throw his son to the wolves. He said, "All right, look, you know what? I'm gonna start this nonprofit. Let's let this idiot run it. You know, and that's what he did for his son. So it's always, you know, when I look at these capitalists, it's always do as I say, not as I do. Right? They make sure that their kids. You think their kids, you know, you think Trump's children had to worry about the way, you know, they tell us? No, because he gives his children the information. Information is key, right? If you know how to, like Ted was saying, put the proper documents in place. They don't teach this to us in the school system, how to, you know, properly, you know, put the notation and put the lettering and make sure your letterhead is okay, and this, and you have to get this stamped and this notarized. We're not. We first off, where are you going to get the information? As Koku said, you go down to the you know, government contracting for dummies aisle. You're not going to get anything. Nothing in there is gonna help you, right? It'll be surface level at best. One of the richest men of all time, John Paul Getty. You guys should read his autobiography. He is like, he understands, you know, why people are Marxist or socialist. It was funny reading his book, and he said that there were these low level, like, you know, barely there millionaires. I mean, they got more money than me, and you know, he was a billionaire at that time, and they were like, "Why do you engage with these, you know, socialists?" And he basically was like, Marx was right. You know, I'd rather pay my workers a decent wage. I don't need to screw them over. I'm making money hand and foot. That's what he was telling these guys. So I just think that we have the wrong idea of what capitalism is. Capitalism is basically socialism without labor. It's just a bunch of people coming together to pool their capital. While Marxism, socialism, whatever you want to call it, is a bunch of people coming together because they don't have capital. The only thing they have is labor, so they're pooling their labor together. And so, you know, when you tell us that, oh, yeah, success breeds success, look, in 2023, in my opinion, like Kobe said, people just get to the point. If you want us to pay for it, make it affordable, right? I've paid for some business courses. It's like $80, $200. The most I'm giving up is $500. And it has to be really tangible where I feel like if I pay this $500, I'm going to get some information that I can act upon very quickly.
You could convert it immediately.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I was day trading. There's stackscales.com. I went on stackscales.com, and there were day trading courses for like $20, $15. There were a couple for a few thousand. And, you know, I'm like, I'm not paying. I paid the few, I paid like only got like $200 in courses. And I'm not the greatest day trader, but I'm decent, right? And so, as opposed to, they got these guys that were called option snipers, Africans, Nigerian dudes. And these dudes were scamming you. They tell you you're going to pay this. And I spent $200, and I'm looking at the same strategy that he's telling me with his option snipers that I could have got for $20 on stackskills.com. So I'm just saying, and it goes back to my point about black business. I don't understand black capitalists. It's like, you know, it doesn't make sense. So that's why I'm railing against them. So when I say I don't support black business, of course I support black business, but it's like, goddamn, can we stop being so freaking greedy? If you buy it for one, okay, make your profit. You don't have to sell it for 70. If you buy it for one, sell it for a reasonable price, knowing that the economics don't favor your people. But don't put it, you buy it for $1 and you're selling it to 70, and then you're trying to beat me over the head. Buy black, support black, brother, support black, brother. But goddamn, if I support all these blacks, I'm not gonna have any money. I'll be in the freaking street, and then you're still gonna say it's my fault for being in the street. You didn't budget. It's your fault. You should be a man. What the, you can't help these people. You can't satisfy them. But that's just my opinion.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
And then I agree with you, Gas. Not only that, they buy the thing for $2 and sell it for 80. When you pay the 80, they take that money and go spend it on Versace, Louis, nothing else. So it's like, are you really about that? You take the money, you overprice it for your own people, and then you use that same money to go get the stuff from the people that you want to criticize. But I want to go back to Tenzin. Tenzin said something that was very fun. He was in the military, he said, right? So he was in the military, and he said his parents were from the suburb, but he said he liked to go to the hood. So, bro, there's something that's not adding up. My thing is, bro, don't come show off and act like you got it out the mud by yourself. Well, you said you was in the military, so that probably gave you a leg up, even though you said you went to jail to the brig or whatever. And then you say your mom was from the suburb. So I don't understand how he said, "Oh, I had to buy my mom a house." Your mom was already in the suburb,
Right.
and like, what are you talking about? So
That's
it's
what I
not.
was talking about. That's exactly what I was referring. It's a curated story. I'm telling you, that story is a put together. His story is a put together story, and if I think deeper about it, I have to ask the question: why is that story put together, right? And why is he telling us about this contracting? And everything I hear him say is in contradiction to what I know personally. The system works. You ain't. I'm telling you, like Bobby Wright said earlier. Yana B kind of said it too. You ain't going in that government, in that federal contracting space, talking about you don't like to read and
Exactly,
and
bro.
all that old shit like that, and talking a certain way. You're just not doing it. I'm telling you.
Talking about, oh, I don't read, and you just said it in 10 cents. How you don't read? These military contract and those contracts are a lot to read. And if you're gonna hire somebody to read those contracts, where did you get the money to pay these people? And you say you work at a gas station.
Well, you know what it is. A lot of times these guys are fronts. So and this is why again, this is the capitalist system at play. Uh, a rich white guy or a middle level white guy will always feel comfortable getting some jail thug dude who say, "Yeah, what I'm saying, son, keep it real. I don't read books, but that's my man Mike Bizzle." And the guy's name is probably Mike Burkowski, but he's like, "It's my man Mike Brizzle. He a real G. He a real one." And Mike is just using this idiot as a front to get access to the minority contracts. So Mike fills out all the paperwork, takes care of everything. He just puts him there. It's illegal, but this is what they do, right? And to Yona, that's not true. Yona, listen. I've been on every platform telling Black people you should have your business set up. You should be on ZenBusiness.com, get your LLC or your S corp, your C corp. I've been screaming this, so I don't talk about my personal life. I have businesses here and on the continent. But I'm not here to, beat people over the head with capitalism. That's one. I like to make a profit just like everybody else, right? But at the same time, I don't need to BS people. If you're paying $90,000 in rent, your revenue income, you got to have high revenues. So, you should have an online business as opposed to paying $90,000 in rent. But the average Black entrepreneur, Yona, isn't paying $90,000 a month in rent. Let's be real. Like even P Diddy's not paying that for his bad boy offices. So come on, Yona. Like let's keep it simple. None of us are billionaire financiers. You understand what I'm saying? Like I don't understand us Black business people be like, yeah, man. Like, come on, none of us are on the level of Tesla. Like let's cut it out. All right, we shop at Costco. We buy things online. We buy them from foreign merchants and we sell them cheap in America. That's what we do. Let's not kid ourselves. But hey, I'll stop talking.
I want to stress this too, because again, I don't want the point of the prompt to be lost. There is federal government contracting opportunities. You could want to give you a channel you could check out. You could check out FedBiz Op. Trust me, I've gone through all of them. You could sign up on SBA.gov, and they offer these webinars all the time for you to sit through that stuff. And I'm telling you, it's the same shit over and over. It's very general. It doesn't get you right where you need to go. But that's how you could learn this stuff. What the guy is saying, a lot of what he's talking about is correct. But the approach that they pushed him out there to give to you as so-called minorities, that approach, I'm telling you, that ain't gonna get it for you. Unless you're the face like Gas was just talking about, and really it's the white boys who have that airtight paperwork, that those airtight contracts and agreements and whatnot, that you could just be the kind of goofy face for, some urban type thing that they're trying to get a contract for, right? You could be like that urban face to go in there and do it. But you cannot be a person who doesn't like to read. You cannot be a person who don't know how to talk to people. I mean, and then they hit you with all the heartstring shit. The dude was in the military. That will get a certain amount of black people. He was in jail. Well, that will get a certain amount of black people to look up. He was in the hood but didn't have to be there. That'll get some people to look up. He saved his mama, who, if he remembered his earlier part of the story, wouldn't have need saving, by the way. But whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, mama.
Pardon me?
No, I said they had to bring the poor mama into it as well.
Yeah, come on.
Just it's a rap story. I don't know why. I'm not against what he's saying. It's just the way he's saying it. This has such a rap vibe to it. Like, oh, I was struggling in the ghetto. Now I have to buy. He didn't say anything about his father. He didn't say anything about him growing. But importantly, he didn't say anything about how to get those things. Like, yeah, the feel good story is nice, but tell somebody, if I don't know how to read and write, I don't like how to read and write, how did I get around that? Don't just tell somebody, well, you can walk off the streets of the ghetto and then go into a government contract and get what you want.
But
it's not that.
Tan, the bigger thing to that is you have to ask yourself, why is he able to tell that story?
Yeah.
What is the desired effect when he tells that story? When he tells that to his audience, which is us? What are you trying to get us to do now? To go play the fool?
He gets a lot of vagina from that, because those women say, "Ooh, look at him, girl. I like my man like that." I know a pimp when I see one.
Yeah, and then the rest of the young fellas.
Nobody likes a man exposing his knees, so he's not even going after them. And the audience, I don't even think it's us. TED Talks is not for us. Usually, it's for other people to feel good. Maybe some.
Well, no, the women in the audience. There were a lot of women. If you listen to the video, I heard a lot of female voices, and they sounded very happy and excited that this jail street thug dude who doesn't like to read somehow, some way can get all the trappings of capitalism. And as I was told on the platform yesterday, women don't care about money. They just care about being comfortable. So he has a car. He bought his mama a house. All the boxes are checked. So he's, good to have 8 baby mothers.
And then at the end, he's like, "Yo, take down my Instagram handle." Like, dude, come on, dude.
Oh God, this list just okay, fine.
Anyway, is there any last words on this prompt?
Yeah, I have a quick question for Gas. Something that he mentioned. Gas, you say he was a day trader. As in reference to, I know that's an off point, but in references to the frequency of trading, how are you getting around the taxes? Yeah, well, maybe not thinking like that.
I am getting killed. The markets are brutal. Day trading. Okay. Don't let anybody kill you, man. Not only are the taxes kicking my butt, the goddamn markets. Listen, man. You can look at the charts. Look, some days are beautiful.
Okay.
Some days I just cry like a baby. Literally, I sit there and I stare at the screen confused as to why the training said this, the markets looked exactly like the training, and then 5 minutes later, I guess somebody, the day trading gods are not with me. And then the next thing I know, so
you do options?
But again, I'm not going to sit down there because I could easily do it. I can go, tell Koku to front me some money and rent a car, and tell Tam, let me stand in front of her car, and tell Azumi, let me stand in front of the building. I'm telling you, right? I could wear a nice suit and then start charging black people. Yeah, man, I'm going to teach you how to trade in stocks. You'll be successful like me. You just got to put $1,000, and I go around the country and sell this feel good to black people, and not tell them that, you know, like you said, taxes and the market's not going your way, losing a lot of money on some days, you know.
You do options?
I do everything that a day trader can try to do to make money.
Okay, all right,
On
all
touch
right.
about
Yes, sir.
your volume is kind of low. I think that's why people might be talking over you too.
I try to turn it up just now. Okay, let me change the influence. Go ahead, brother. I'll change the influence.
All right. In the meantime, let me go to shoot the breeze topic number 5.